San Diego Comic-Con Day 2. We're heading over to the Dennis Camp and Friends panel. I'm here with Drew.
Yo.
And I think after, there might be some other panels we're looking to hit up. There's the Gotham City panel where Matt Fraction and G. Will Wilson are probably going to get into the Bad Seed event with a little more detail. There's also, later in the day, an Absolute Universe, DC Next Levels today. DC Next Level today. So I want to see who's going to be on Jonah Hex, who's going to be on Etrigan the Demon, and who's on Shadow of the Bat. And then Drew was telling me about
why is Kody Ziegler there?
Why is Kody Ziegler there? Oh, Stephanie Williams
too?
They're
getting announced. They're announcing something, right?
Okay.
What is it?
So Stephanie Williams, Kody Ziegler, what is it? I guess the thinking is probably a static series for Kody Ziegler. What's the rumors on Stephanie Williams?
Vixen,
because that's been in the works. That's been rumored for a very long time. Okay, so awesome. Yeah, so this DC Next Level panel could be really cool. Tomorrow will be the Absolute panel, if I'm not mistaken, so that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, I'll check back in later. We're going to the Dennis Camp panel for now. I'm gonna try to see if Dennis Camp wants to sign this. Might have to get him at the booth, you know what I mean? But yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Oh, well, let me ask you this, is like, being adaptable to different creators is, again, something that I learned later. Like, it took me a while to get to a space where I felt comfortable.
His work, it's kind of like, there's a poetry, there's a beautiful flow to the way that his pages flow. So I started to try to write with that. And a lot of my best voices are with books with him, I think. And because there is this kind of poetry to the way that he draws. And with Eric, and so it's about creating a book that can best serve him, because he can draw a lot of different things, and he can also switch up styles. So there's a lot of switching up like tones in 20th Century Man, and the same in Bleeding Hearts. And so you could write something for him, and he would do a good job on it if it wasn't tailored for him, because he's good at anything.
It is actually, I think about structure a lot, in part because I am obsessed with making like the single issue a really satisfying experience. And so a lot of it is, so there's all these different reasons that you play with structure, right? Like, one is to create a particular effect. So we're great. So like Martian Mindfucker, we call that for this panel. The original name, the OG name. Like that is, you needed to feel confused, and I want the reader, you can use the technology of the comic to make the reader feel kind of insane in the way that the Martian makes John feel insane.
All right, so we just got out of the Dennis Camp panel. Dennis Camp was so nice enough to hang out in the hall after and just talk with fans, answer questions, sign stuff. And I got my Absolute Martian Manhunter Marty signed by Dennis. And also, Scott McCloud was there. That was pretty cool. Understanding comics, if you haven't read it, check it out, blow your mind. And it was real fun just talking to Dennis Camp. He told me that he's seen my videos, which like blows my mind. That's like so weird to me that Dennis Camp would ever like watch TikTok. Like, aren't you like busy writing the most mind-blowing comics ever? But yeah. So now we're on our way to, there's like a DC, they're calling it like the Gotham City panel, Matt Fraction, G. Will Wilson, and they're probably gonna talk about the Bad Seed event. But then right after is the DC Next Level panel. And I gotta be honest, guys, listen, okay? Kody got the scoop, all right? So I heard that Dennis was talking to me, and he was saying that, oh yeah, my next book will be announced in like a couple hours or whatever. And I was like winking. I'm like, oh, we're going to the Next Level panel. I guess we'll see you there. And he's winking back to me, guys. So listen, I think we're getting this announcement of him and Javier Rodriguez working on Shadow of the Bat. That'd be my guess. I don't see them doing Etrigan. I don't see them doing Jonah Hex. But yeah, we'll have to see what's going on. Where are we going? Oh, almost there. Dude, this place is so big, by the way, guys. Listen, San Diego Comic-Con, it's unbelievably big. The panels are on like a whole different like building almost. You have to like go upstairs. Everything's so distributed across buildings. But yeah, we'll have a great time, and we're about to hit up DC Gotham City, and then after that, DC Next Level, and I'll be capturing some footage there, of course.
It's a really cool idea. Yeah.
Dude, I'm glad they're bringing.
We launched with bold talent reimagining some of our fan favorite characters. And that was quickly followed by unexpected visions of the Fury of Firestorm, Zatanna, Barbara Gordon Breakout, and finally the Dead Man. And so I'd like to welcome up Joshua Williamson.
Is everybody ready for some surprises today?
Yes.
Got some really cool stuff coming. I hope you're excited.
Michael, you've been sitting here really patiently. We've talked about reveals for this panel, things we're going to share, surprises. Why don't you get us started? What is the next level book that you're doing?
Hi, everybody. Reddit was right. I am writing and drawing Jonah Hex. Do you guys like horror comics? Okay. We're gonna take Jonah Hex and introduce him to a whole new mythology, and it's gonna be a very horror-leaning book with a lot of the sensibilities of what we love about westerns, themes of isolation and guilt and redemption, and there's gonna be a whole new cast of characters that I hope you guys fall in love with, because we're gonna do really evil things to them and pull you in and break your hearts and hopefully give you a book that you're really gonna enjoy. And as you can see on the screen here, you're getting a first look at some of the pages from this first issue. And we're gonna be telling stories about Hex's past and where he's at now. At the start of this story, Hex is in retirement. He's not bounty hunting anymore. He's just kind of trying to live out the end of the Wild West. And he gets pulled into a world of, without spoiling anything, supernatural entities, and has to decide if he wants to take his guns back out. And you'll see how that works out for him and all the people around him.
I've known Michael for a really long time, and you've talked about wanting to do a horror western this whole time. And so when I finally we were doing this, I was so excited. And when this page came in, it was one of the easiest pitches. It was so awesome. It was so figured out. This book is really, really good. If you're really digging horror and you like Michael's work, this book is amazing. It's so good.
Why don't we get into the back half of the panel? Let's get to some of the surprises. We have a next level Wave 2 trailer for you guys to show, and then we'll keep the panel going.
Cool.
Oh, no problem. We can patiently wait. We're all having a good time here, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys get the little surprises we left actually for all of you?
Yeah.
It's out there for you.
Yes.
Actually, I haven't seen one of those yet. Can I see it first? What is it? Alicia Superheroes. Oh, that looks great. So this is the first time we're seeing it literally right now.
All right, here's the trailer. I think so.
Wow. Looks great.
You really love that one, am I right?
The page art is amazing, right? It's like 2 inch. Should we just spoil it?
We can just spoil it. We can just bring people up. We don't need to do this.
do you want fans to understand about where Next Level is headed?
Well, first, I really want to say thank you to everyone here in this room with us. You know, when Scott and I started working on developing All In Absolute, we understood that what we were doing was a big risk, that it was going to be a really big swing. And there are times when you're doing stuff like that, you do get a little worried, but you do know that when you're getting a little worried, that means you're probably doing the right thing. And the reason why I want to say thank you to everyone is because of the success of All In, and because of the success of Absolute, that everyone here, the fact that you supported that, it allowed us the opportunity to do things like Next Level and take these kinds of swings and go to creators and ask them, what do you want to do? What are you passionate about? We couldn't have done that without everyone in this room's support. And I want to thank all of these creators for the same thing, for bringing that passion and coming on this journey with us and taking those big swings with us, because that's what Next Level is to us. It is going to creators and saying, what do you love? Which characters are you passionate about? And then telling those stories and showing all of you that we love those characters just as much as you do. So again, thank you to everyone here, thank you to everyone in DC, and thank you to everyone on this panel for coming with us on this journey to the next level.
On this panel later today, there's going to be a signing at the DC booth. That's number 4544, beginning at 3 p.m. today. Just a special thanks to the panelists, our surprise guests, and most importantly, you, the audience. Tomorrow we'll continue this conversation with Metropolis and Beyond and DC's Absolute Universe. Thanks for being here.
All right, so just got out of the DC Next Level panel, dude. A lot of cool announcements. So it turns out that Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez are doing Batman Shadow of the Bat. They actually announced that at the panel previous, so the Gotham City panel that we didn't get to attend, but they showed like additional panels and stuff like that at the DC Next Level panel. And in addition to that, we got our creative teams for Jonah Hex has finally been announced. So you know that Michael Walsh is going to be writing and drawing, and then we also have Tony Marie Griffin is going to be doing the coloring for that series. So great creative team on that. Same one as Universal Monsters Frankenstein. And then we found out that Etrigan the Demon is in fact going to be done by James Herron. I've not read James Herron's stuff before, but the panels that they were showing, it looks like a really cool demon series. Like, I think that it might be worth the pull, might be worth adding to the pull list. Of course, you know, they got into some stuff that we already announced, that we already knew about, like Teen Titans from Kyle Higgins, of course, the Legion of Superheroes. But the big announcement is that Cody Ziegler is doing Static. Because we're all wondering, why is Cody Ziegler attached to this panel? What's going on? Cody Ziegler is actually doing Static. So it's Static ongoing. And they made that very clear. It's an ongoing. And then in addition to that, Stephanie Williams was on stage, announced the Vixen ongoing. Long rumored, right? And they were going into it like, hey, we've been working on Vixen for like 2 years, right? So really excited to see what Stephanie Williams can bring to the character. I guess that they announced the artists for both Static and Vixen, but I didn't quite get it. I didn't pick it up when they were saying it. Like the mic wasn't working, so I didn't get to hear what they said. And I don't think I was familiar with the Stephanie Williams Vixen art choice. I wasn't familiar with that. And then the Static, the mic wasn't working, so we couldn't hear it. But yeah, so that should be pretty cool. We find that out later on, who's working on the Static art. And yeah, really looking forward to all these different DC Next Level titles. I feel like for me, of course, you gotta add Doom Patrol, you gotta add Legion. Maybe not so much the Etrigan, like maybe I can wait to read that on DC Universe Infinite. Static though, you gotta pull, and Vixen I think are gonna be some must-pull series. So some decisions are gonna have to be made soon, which is getting the cuts, right? Because you gotta keep that pull under control. With that being said, having a great San Diego Comic-Con Day 2. Which characters?
Damien and Billy Batson.
Full of energy. I know you don't have it. It's a lot.
But like, dude, I was telling someone, original art, bro, is like way more interesting to me than a slab comic. Like way more interesting. It's just covers, dude.
Yeah, but
God.
he's gonna be 6 actually.
Oh my God, World Tree, bro.
Okay, so yeah, you're younger. Yeah, mine
That's
will turn
sick.
7 at the end of November.
There we go, some Dracula there. The Mummy. Oh, dude. Man,
That's my favorite guy.
You read Black Hammer?
I haven't yet, dude. I have the first like oversized, and
Okay, so first off, look at the creative team here.
What the hell?
For this, this is like one of the minis.
Put that in my hand.
I do whatever you guys want.
Instagram too, or just Facebook?
Yeah.
Well, there's an absolute Batman.
Most of these are for like digital sales,
Right.
so they don't pay us anything.
Leon. He's going so funny in 7 times speed, dude.
Do you live close to the ocean? Is it more inland?
So I'm at the DC booth. I wanted to show you guys, I guess just show you around the DC booth. So
Guys, keep moving!
over here we've got the merch area. A lot of cool things. I think that for the most part, you got a lot of shirts. Of course, you got a lot of con exclusive variants. But I think that nothing for me. I might be buying, I lied. I might be buying the Absolute Wonder Woman shirt. That might be the only thing though, because that alone is $45, you know what I'm saying? So trying to keep it, not spending so much. Let's take a look at some of the other items that are available. So you got some stuff for free if you spend a certain amount of dollars. You got a bunch of clothes, like I was saying. Some of the stuff's out, like you have the Absolute Batman shirt is out. You have Absolute Superman and Wonder Woman. These two might be on the purchase list. They might be. And then, yeah, I did want to say that if you get DC Universe Infinite, they have like a little section over here too, where if you get the app for like a year, right, over there, they give you like a bundle. So I'll show you guys what I got in the bundle a little bit later. So definitely stay tuned for that. And then in addition to that, they have some photo opportunities like the one behind me for the Superman experience. Over there, they have a bunch of signings going on. So we have stuff like Scott Snyder, Tom Taylor, Matt Fraction, G. Willow Wilson, Tate Bravo, and Christopher Cantwell. So a lot of different creators over there, all big hitters, all doing great stuff over at DC, so it's very exciting. Check out how long the line is, right? I think it's like a wristband event or something like that, because the line goes like all the way over there, and I think that it loops back over there. So yeah, pretty long line for all of these DC creators. And then other than that, they got the Photoshop photo opportunities for the Supergirl movie, so like the one behind me. They also have the Green Lantern there too. So let's take a closer look at that. They got the ring, and they have the Green Lantern. And then in addition to that, they got the Supergirl, the costume in all its detail, the high boots, the skirt, everything looking cool. It says that worn by Mary Alcock, dude. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the DC booth. I guess you have some Metropolis, kind of like old-timey electronics display. Interesting. They have this little Batman hanging out over there. That's pretty cool. Little 3D piece sticking out. And yeah, the DC booth is a lot of fun. I guess I should mention that over there when I was showing you the DC Universe Infinite section, and then in addition to the Superman experience, they did the entire thing has been like decked out like the Fortress of Solitude. So very cool. Very cool. They take up just like a big presence at San Diego Comic-Con. The booth is pretty big. Oh, I didn't even see this over there, bro. Let me show you guys this. So over there, it looks like we got a bunch of people gaming. Let's see. Oh, Legacy of the Dark Knight, dude. So if you guys haven't had a chance to play Legacy of the Dark Knight yet, looks like they have, I don't know, like 5 stations or something like that for people to try out the game. So there you go. I think that's it for the DC booth. I'll try walking around. Let's try seeing what's on the backside. But that's pretty much it. So, of course, did the Next Level panel and had a great time meeting Dennis Camp. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, now kind of just walking around, just taking in some of the things I didn't get to see on day one. So on the side of this side of the DC booth, you have a giant advertisement for Legacy of the Dark Knight. That's pretty much it though. And then actually, this is the line for the shop. The line for the shop is wrapped to the end. Yeah, that's crazy. So if you even wanted to buy like a bunch of DC stuff, you're gonna have to wait in the line for so long. Yeah, no thanks. Anyways, I'll check in later. All right, so I just wanted to do an end of day 2 convention recap. All right, so I'm sitting outside, dude. Great day 2, it was excellent. I ended up spending a lot of money today. I guess that's what you do at a con, right? One of the days you're gonna spend money. I guess I was like, you know what? Today's the day I'm buying shit. I think my plan is to not buy anything else, pretty much, except for presents for my wife, my beautiful wife. Shout out my wife. I got this, okay? This is a Daniel Warren Johnson mouse pad, right? Hold on, let me open it up. Mouse pad slash playmat. My idea is to put this on like the bottom of whenever I do overhead shots, right? So I have that green playmat right there, but now I'm gonna replace that with this. We have the Daniel Warren Johnson. This is the Godzilla playmat. Hold on, let me see which side. Yeah, dude. Check that out. Daniel Warren Johnson, okay? So that's gonna be cool. Another Daniel Warren Johnson piece added to the collection. In addition to that, I wanna show you guys, I got this for my wife, of course, hanging out with Dave Baker. What a nice guy, shout out Dave Baker. Of course, Nicole Gu is Eisner nominated, so that's why I wanted to pick this up. Maybe my wife would enjoy checking this out. Dave Baker throwing up free sticker, what a guy, that was fun. I had to stop by Zach Kaplan's booth. You know Zach Kaplan's the homie. I wanted to pick up trade paperback number 1 of Kill All Immortals, the series out of Dark Horse Comics. He writes Tear It Down on there, so that's pretty fun. Shout out Zach Kaplan, one of the hardest workers in all the comics. That guy's a grinder. In one of the booths they were doing like 25% off and also like half off graphic novels. You guys know I had to pick up Darcy Van Polgees and Ian Bertram's Little Bird. I enjoyed it so much as I checked it out from the library. If you guys caught those videos, had to buy my own copy because it was that good. Also got the sequel, Precious Metal. Kind of wish this was a hardcover. You guys know me, I always love the hardcovers, but I want to follow up Little Bird by reading Precious Metal, some of Ian Bertram's crazy interiors, Matt Hollingsworth on the coloring. So that's going to be a fun read for the first time, and then adding this to the collection because it's so good, you gotta have it in the collection. In addition to that, at the DC Next Level panel, we got a little pin exclusive. This is the Etrigan the Demon by James Herron series that they announced at the panel. They were giving out free exclusive pins. They also were giving out at the same panel Legion of Superheroes, the Ash Can. Super cool. They love this. Of course, Hayden Sherman on the art, Josh Williamson writing. Excited about this series. DC Next Level is just super exciting. Inside though is all black and white interior artwork, okay? So it doesn't have the Tamara Bonvillain coloring. I think that's who was announced as the colorist, but yeah, Legion of Superheroes, of course. Oh, down there, Tamara Bonvillain. So that's a really cool exclusive from the panel. Then I went by the Jeff Lemire. He was doing a signing at the Image booth. So Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen doing a dual signing. I got Crowbound, the Ash Can that they're putting out for San Diego Comic-Con, and I got this signed, of course, by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. So really excited about this. Getting ready for Crowbound by reading Ascender, if you guys saw my TBR for the month of July. And then, dude, the rest of this are exclusives from DC. Whenever you get DC Universe Infinite Ultra, I think they're out of these bundles, so you might not be able to get them anymore if you're watching this after the fact. But we got a lot of cool things straight from DC Comics. Let me show you guys what we got. So you have a John Kent's badge for the Daily Planet. He's an intern, right? So check out this cool badge. It comes with the lanyard, the DC Go lanyard, but then you got John Kent intern right there. So that's a fun little thing. You know, you add it to your con pass. Use this lanyard instead of the one they give you. It also has the glow in the dark Absolute Martian Manhunter #1 cover, so that's cool. It had a exclusive Batman #1, that's the Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez series, of course. Then you also get a series of pins. You have a DC Go pin, that's their vertical scrolling format. You have the Absolute Martian Manhunter pin as well. Love this series, of course. Hoping they're winning the Eisners tonight, that could be cool. DC Universe Infinite Ultra pin to round it out. So a lot of cool exclusives if you have DC Universe Infinite Ultra. That being said, that's kind of it for the recap for day 2. The last thing that we're doing today is we're actually watching the Eisner. So the public is allowed to go in and watch the Eisners. I kind of just want to experience it for the first time. So that's the plan for the rest of tonight. I don't think I'm going to be filming any of it. I think it's kind of like a little iffy on filming at the Eisners. I don't think that's kind of the vibe. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on day 3. Let you guys know how the Eisners went. Thank you guys for watching, and leave more comments.